Hello guys, how is it going? So today is Tuesday, the 30th of August 2016. There's a little bit more than 24 hours left before the transfer window ends, and I'm not expecting anything except from a couple of exit. No more players will come in, so it's not a surprise at all. And probably you've noticed also that it's been a very long time since I made a video, because there's nothing, absolutely nothing to talk about. No kidding, guys. The new season has already started. As you all know, we have 4 points from 3 games. We started with a good win against Arsenal away, an absolutely rubbish game against Burnley, a defeat, and quite an unlucky draw against Tottenham, I would say. So it's still early days in the new season, but obviously, even if I've given up hope of Liverpool buying any more players, I didn't feel the need, or didn't find anything very interesting to talk about. I was expecting much more regarding the transfer business. So as things stand, and I think it will remain this way, at least concerning the new players coming in, things have been very below my expectations. But this video is mainly, I will talk mainly about 2 things. First thing is about Mamadou Sakho, and the second thing about the transfer business and Jurgen Klopp, the Liverpool manager. So firstly, with regards to Mamadou Sakho, maybe some of you have I've just catch up with the latest news, because at least more than 1 week, 10 days ago, I was already surprised that, well, less than a few hours, I was very happy to see Mamadou Sakho back in training. But my happiness was quickly put to the dustbin, if you can say it like this, because with news breaking out that he was available on loan, not for sale but on loan, because according to the various credible reports, he's very short in terms of fitness, and with regards to the latest reports now, today, as of today, it would seem he has practically 0 chance of featuring for Liverpool this season. Now, I really don't understand this. You'll have to let me know your thoughts. You all know what happened to Mamadou Sakho for the last few months with his doping scandal, and I was happy also that he was completely cleared with regards to this doping scandal. There was still an element of, there was still a question mark regarding this, whether the doping, anti-doping agency or whatever you want to call this were going to appeal or not. But they've just confirmed that they would not appeal, so it did mean that Sakho was completely cleared of this matter. But the fact that he had a heel injury, it would seem, and completely missed the whole of pre-season, didn't help matters. And also not neglecting the fact that there was a much publicized bust up between Klopp and Sakho during the USA tour in pre-season where he was sent back to Melwood because of disciplinary problems. Now I get all this, don't get me wrong, no player is bigger than the club, and the manager has to make sure that all the discipline and respect are followed with the necessary, you know, whatever. Sakho fell short in terms of fitness, in terms of discipline, not neglecting also his his doping scandal. But with the latest news now that 3 days ago Sakho rejected a loan move to Stoke because there were a few clubs which were interested in his services with regards to a loan. So he rejected. It would seem that from Sakho's side, at least, he's willing to fight for his place, even if he's way short in terms of fitness, in terms of form or whatever, with regards to the other defenders right now at the club. I'm talking obviously about Lovren, Matip, Klavan, and I am fully aware that Liverpool won't play as many games this season because they are not in Europe. But even considering all these facts, I don't get it. I don't get it. The player is being pushed out of the door. He's being pushed out of the club. And the most funny thing and strange thing about this is that they are willing to loan him but not selling him. So what's the point? What's the point? Really, what's the point? And to say that obviously the club will play less games this season, I fully get this once again, but let's see if disaster strikes. I'm not hoping for this, obviously, but if Lovren or Matip get injured, then who are the defenders left? Lucas? Joe Gomez? Is Joe Gomez way better than Sakho in terms of ability? For me, no. In terms of fitness, Joe Gomez also hasn't played for ages, even longer than Sakho. So to consider, the very fact to consider Joe Gomez as a better option than Mamadou Sakho, I find this quite baffling, to be honest with you. Obviously, we don't have all the inside information, but for me this smells of a complete breakdown in relationship between manager and player, and I find this quite frustrating and saddening, because I'm a fan of Mamadou Sakho, but I'm trying to be objective about all this, you know, and I think it's, although I do not have all the inside information, but trying to bomb out a player like this is very strange. I do not understand the logic. If they decided to sell him, I would understand more, but loaning him and not selling him, I don't get this. I don't get this, guys. I really don't get this, and it might come back to haunt us, if I'm perfectly honest with you. So let me know your thoughts about all this. Probably Jurgen Klopp has his reasons, but alright, Sakho didn't help matters with his disciplinary problems during the summer, and obviously his injury hasn't helped also. But even despite all this, forcing the player out on loan, I don't get this, guys. I really don't get this. So we'll have to see what happens, but things are looking inevitable, it would seem. I really like Mamadou Sakho. I like Don't get me wrong, he's not the best defender in the world, very far from it, but I like the player, I like the passion, I like the fighting spirit. I get this also, once again, no player is bigger than the club, but to treat him the way that he's being treated right now, unless there must be more reasons to all this other than just fitness. Maybe this is disciplinary problems behind the doors. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts, but for me, I absolutely don't find, I find this very unfair and not logical at all. Let me know your thoughts about Sakho. And secondly, about the manager himself, Jurgen Klopp, and the transfer business so far this summer. Like I told you, I was very underwhelmed. I have been very underwhelmed with our transfer business this season. Sadio Mane it's still early days, seems to be a very good signing. I must admit that I had my doubts. Not that I disliked Sadio Mane, but I was hoping for more high caliber players, you know, but so far he's proven me wrong, Sadio Mane, so long may it continue. Matip also, I very much like Matip from what I have seen so far, although it's still early days also. So some very good signings. I'm not criticizing the signings as of yet because it's still early days once again. But is it enough? Is it enough? By the way, Wijnaldum, very disappointing, but again, we're still only 3 games in the season. But for me, he's not a deep-lying midfielder. He's being wasted here, at least for me, as far as I'm concerned. And his performances have been disappointing. Not that he's a bad player, but I think that he's playing out of position. We are not getting the best of Wijnaldum in the position in midfield in which he is playing. Let me know your thoughts about Wijnaldum. Grujic is still very young. Although I've been happy from what I have seen in pre-season, but he's still young. The jury is still out on Karius, who is injured at the moment. Klavan, good solid player, but is it enough? For me, it's not enough. We need a player, because not to forget that both Matip and Mane will be out for at least a month, whatever happens with the African Cup in January or February or whatever. Do we have a backup for Mane? Because we could very easily see what happened when Mane missed the game against Burnley. The team completely lost pace, lost direction, were not as cutting edge and pace. Very disappointed by Philippe Coutinho so far. He scored a wonderful free kick against Arsenal and did well in the first game, but the next 2 games he's been very disappointing. And the defense also, talking about all this, I'm not saying that it's a particular player, but the whole team, the defensive setup leaves a lot to be desired, because we have conceded, I don't know, 9 goals, 8 goals in 3 games. Again, goal difference is already -1 with 3 games. This is clearly not good enough. So Liverpool need a left back. This is not a secret. Again, Jurgen Klopp's stubbornness about persisting with the likes of Milner at left back. Don't get me wrong, he did quite well against Tottenham, but he's not a left back. Alberto Moreno defensive skills are still not good enough. Do we have enough in the striking department? Still question marks about Daniel Sturridge also. eternal question marks about his fitness, Daniel Sturridge, and also again his relationship with Jurgen Klopp is not as clear as I would have liked it to be. So in my opinion, Liverpool still need an attacking, pacey midfielder, a left back, and a striker. And it's certainly not a money problem. Money is no issue because we are finishing this transfer window with a profit. I have nothing against this. Actually I don't care. I don't care about net spend, profit, or whatever. But money is no issue. But it would seem that it's purely a manager's choice not to buy players. And no, I don't believe in these things. You know, the player doesn't want to come. Money talks. In every walk of life, money talks. For me, it's clearly a decision, both from the owners and Jurgen Klopp. I don't want to criticize too much again the owners because I think it's between the manager and the owners. The money is available, but it would seem that Jurgen Klopp is refusing to spend it. When you look at the targets at left back, for instance, the likes of Ben Chilwell, clearly it showed that Jurgen Klopp wanted to go with Alberto Moreno as first choice. But what does this tell you about his confidence in Alberto Moreno playing James Milner instead of Moreno at the moment? So all very confusing for me. It's still early days with regards to Jurgen Klopp also. I still very much like the guy. He's still miles better than Brendan Rodgers, but I won't restrain myself from criticizing Jurgen Klopp. And at the moment, I do not quite understand his decisions. He's also very stubborn, Jurgen Klopp, which isn't a bad thing. But to be confident with this squad to achieve what we all want, ideally it would be the title, the league title, but for me they are clearly not good enough to win the title, but even top 4. So I'm clearly not satisfied, guys, and very, very frustrated. I had this worry in my previous videos, if you watch, about Jurgen Klopp. He's very similar to what's happening to Arsenal, the frustration that Arsenal fans are having with Arsene Wenger. He's not the type of manager to spend money on world-class confirmed players. He believes a lot in development, which is not wrong. He's achieved some magic, some big magical things at Dortmund. But I think for me, you need a mixture. You need a mixture of both development, and sometimes you have to simply pay. You know, you cannot trying, especially in football business, trying to achieve success on the cheap is very difficult, especially in the English Premier League, with all the TV money and all these. Even mid-table teams can have the spending power now. So you may have a philosophy in which you believe, but sometimes you need to adapt it, you know. And this stubbornness, this in only one fixed philosophy of 100% development, and trying, once again, I want to emphasize on this, you know, guys, trying to get success on the cheap. I'm not quite at ease with these guys. So let me know your thoughts. Like I told you, it's been ages since I made a video because I was watching what's happening, but now 24 hours before the transfer window ends, I wanted to share my thoughts with you about the manager, the transfer business, and Mamadou Sakho. So I'll leave you there, and Now it's the international break also. Keep supporting the club, obviously, but not too confident. So to be able to turn from doubters to believers, like Jurgen Klopp said, is this enough so far? What has happened? For me, not really, but we'll have to see. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Please like, please comment, please subscribe. Alright, take care, bye. I'll talk to you again soon when there's something interesting to talk about. You'll never walk alone, guys. Bye.